Gibson model I ever had was a Les Paul Standard, and it was black, and I think it was painted aftermarket, and it had bright yellow binding, and it looked really cool, and it had great inlay, but I can't remember what year it was. The last one I got is something I'm actually playing today. It's a 1988 Les Paul Standard that is identical to the one that I've been using since 1988. And I just picked it up the other day. See, that's a tough question. Best experience I've ever had playing a Gibson. I mean, I've been playing Gibson for a long time. So I'm always chasing the next best experience, you know? So I couldn't really answer that. I mean, it would narrow it down to one, which God help me if that's all I got. The first distortion pedal I ever had was a MXR Distortion Plus. And that was, I don't know what year it was, but it was when I first started playing guitar, and I had a little Fender Princeton amp, and I had a Gibson Les Paul copy made by Memphis Guitars. And I got that little Distortion Plus, and I plugged it in and played Cat Scratch Fever, and I was like, eureka, this is it, I've arrived. The distortion pedal I'm using now, which is Ibanez Tube Screamer. Always liked them. I have some old ones, but I don't take them on the road, so I just take the new ones are great. So the last one I acquired was actually Tube Screamer was Steve Ray Vaughan's old Tube Screamer. Apparently, I bought it off somebody, but it was a legit source. I'm pretty sure it is the real deal. I've never actually used it, but there you go. You know, every time I've ever gotten up and jammed with somebody's shitty equipment, and somebody's got just a really funky setup, but if they've got a Tube Screamer, you can sort of just massage it into something, you know, passable. All right, well, I mean, I'm a pretty big collector of stuff. I mean, not a collector, but I buy a lot of stuff that I like. So I would say, just because it is what it is, the 59's always been my favorite style of Les Paul, be it a vintage or if it's a reissue or whatever. So I'd have to say a 59 Les Paul through like a 68 Marshall, you know. I know it's gonna sound crazy, but the actual harp, you know, is the one instrument which I've always wanted to learn. The pedal steel was the next thing, and I'm doing that. It took me years to be able to decide, okay, I'm gonna do this and devote that attention and time and effort into it. So I'm in that process, but eventually at some point, I'm gonna get on the harp and I'm gonna get good at it. I'll be 80. The best instrument that I own, wow, that's a really tough question. I'd be lying if I could give you one straight answer for that. I mean, you know, I've got a really great 59 that I've got a few, but I've got two in particular that are really amazing. But I have a killer old 58V that sounds amazing. It really just depends on what they sound like. It's not the prestige or the date of when it was made or any of that kind of stuff. It's stuff that has a really great, unique sound. And I could name a couple dozen guitars that are like that. So it's hard for me to just pick one.